last words of Jesus. Because we have chosen the 7 words of Jesus on that cross the last time before he passed. But there's more. There's more in there. For instance, there's one word that we really haven't really deep into it, and I would like to talk about it this morning, and that is John chapter 19, verse 26. John chapter 19, verse 26. Really quick, and just so you guys know, living is also loving. Amen. Living is also loving, and I will deepen into that a little bit more in a few minutes. Verse 26, it says, when Jesus saw his mother there, and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Dear woman, here is your son." And to this disciple, "Here is your mother." From the time on, this disciple took her into his home. Now the gospel is full of rhetorical challenges that test our faith and goes against human nature. And I say against human nature because there's rhetorical statements and challenges that are in that cross, really, on that scripture, really sometimes are very challenging, and they don't really make sense to us. We need to really understand what's going on there. Let me give you a few examples of that. For whoever wants to save his life, we will lose it. What does that mean? Whoever wants to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for me will save it. I mean, there is some kind of a challenge there that it goes beyond the normal. What we know is that we need to save our lives, amen. We need to work at it, and we need to work hard at it to save our lives, especially when we find ourselves in situations. But then Jesus comes around, he turns it around, and he says, but, if you keep doing that, you will actually lose your life. And then he's saying, but whoever loses his life for me, whoever gives his life for me, whoever really just follow what I'm saying, will save his life. And there's another one here. Only in his hometown and in his own house is a prophet without honor. There's a few others. If your eye or if your hand falls, makes you to fall, cut it out, dunk it out. A man will marry the woman, his wife, and will leave his mom and dad, and will marry his wife. And there's tons of those challenging words. The most confusing or frightening statement is found in Matthew 19:29. It says, and everyone who has left house, brothers or sisters or father or mother or children or fields for my sake will receive 100 times as much and will inherit eternal life. I mean, that's a hard one right there. That's a challenging one. I mean, he's basically saying, I will reward you, I will bless you. Amen. You leave behind sort of speech, leave behind is for my sake. If you make the decision to follow me, what do I have to do to be willing to leave those I love? That's a question that we should be asking. Why do we have to be willing to leave those I love? Can sacrifice get any more sacrificial than that? I mean, isn't it he asking too much already? Woman, he says, behold your son. You know, it's been 30 years. She's not young lady anymore. She's not that beautiful young woman that was fit to be the mother of Jesus. In fact, you know, she is very old, and she is now facing Jesus on that cross and experiencing that process. And as she is hearing the voice of Jesus saying, "Here is your son," you know, memories come. A lot of memories from birth to the cross. You know, and I can just think about Mary in that moment as she is seeing what is going on with her son and the ordeal that is going on in the midst of that. And I can just think of, you know, how in those last moments memories come to life. Amen. I can think of perhaps when Jesus was before he was born, the process that it took for that to happen, the angels that appeared, you know, the angels that brought the message to her, you know, Joseph and Mary, confusion of what is going on here. I am pregnant. You know, the times when she had to flee with Joseph and run off to Egypt, migrate into Egypt, you know, cross the border there. You know, the times when she arrived and was looking for a place to rest and to give birth to Jesus. Remember is when perhaps she was helping, or she was helping growing him up, and she was raising him up, and you know, all the different stages as he is growing up and becoming a young man, a teenager. The embarrassing moments, you know, like when Jesus disappeared from them, and later he was found in the temple, speaking and teaching. You know, perhaps a memory when they heard that John the Baptist was already announcing his coming. And it was time for him to get into ministry and get ready for ministry. And then at the moment, perhaps, you know, using a little bit of the imagination, she comes into the wood shop, because they're a carpenter family, you know. And he perhaps has to wipe his hand and say, "Goodbye, Mom. It's time to leave. John is already, my cousin's out there already, preparing the way for me to come. I need to get ready." Mary wasn't the first one to be called to say goodbye to loved ones for the sake of the kingdom. It wasn't the first one. You know, Joseph was called to be an orphan in Egypt. You remember the story when he had to say goodbye to his family, in spite of the way it happened. You know, Jonah was called to be a foreigner in Nineveh, in spite of the fact he did not want to do that. You know, Hannah sent her first son away to serve in the temple and had to go through that period of goodbye. Daniel was sent from Jerusalem to Babylon. He went through that experience. Nehemiah was sent from Susa to Jerusalem. Abraham was sent to sacrifice his own son. They all have to go through that experience and say goodbye. Paul had to say goodbye to his heritage. Our Bible is bound together with goodbye trails and with farewell tears. It's an experience that we don't want to go through. In fact, farewell tears is an experience that missionaries often even go through. I remember when I had to say goodbye to my family. 1996, when we got on the plane. And I looked at the wrong window from that plane down below to LA, my hometown. When I had to go through custom and clear my way into the gate and had to say goodbye to my loved one, my mom, my brothers. You know, those are very difficult experience. They're not as pleasant as I think they should be. They're very difficult. You know, a doctor who leaves the city to work in a general hospital has to say goodbye. The Bible translator who teaches to the lost has to say goodbye. The family that will go and do church plan has to say goodbye. The teacher that will be leaving to go teach at a boarding school has to say goodbye. All of them know what it means to say goodbye to those they love. Here's the $1 million question. Here's the $1 million question. What kind of God will put people through social agony? What kind of God will give families and then ask you to live them for His sake, for His kingdom, to follow Him, or perhaps just to be with Him in glory? Have you ever thought about this? Why would God give you a wonderful family and then all of a sudden one of them perishes? God took it. Or the child is gone. Or you think they're going to grow up and be with you forever, but then you have to say goodbye, say goodbye, for the sake of the kingdom. The answer is very simple. A God who knows that the deepest love is built not on passion or romance, but in common mission and sacrifice. It calls us to sacrifice. You know, one of the fathers of the foreign missions, named C.T. Studd, as he grew old and his passion was to bring the gospel to Congo, he saw that his wife wasn't able to keep up with him and live in those conditions, and he said goodbye and said, my wife, I love you very much, but I love God even more. And I'm going to have to send you back to England with my children. They're growing up already, they're adults. I want to stay here in jungle and die. And I want to bring these people to Christ. Therefore I must stay. What a radical thing, right? What a radical thing to do. You know, I find myself often having to travel to the ministry, and I have often had to say to my children, goodbye, I'll see you later. Because I have to go preach somewhere, I have to do something for the sake of God. He did it. A God who knows that we are only pilgrims and that eternity is so close that any goodbye is in reality a see you tomorrow. Because I will see you in heaven. Amen. You give the Lord praise for that? Jesus is basically saying, hey, Mom, I'm leaving. This is my time here on earth. But I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. I will be in heaven with the Lord. Our goodbyes in this earth are they're just passing by. I say goodbye to you tomorrow, and you might not see me for a few days or whatever, and then I'll see you again. But then there's the eternal farewell. The one that you say goodbye here on earth, and then that means I'll see you again in heaven. And God calls us to that, gets us to go through that. Is a God who did it himself. He said, woman, behold your son. Behold your son. Here I am, Mom. Can you imagine what it will mean for you as a mother to be in Mary's shoes and have gone through that ordeal with your son, knowing that he's an innocent man, have to be witnessing all the way from his torture, the moment that he was tortured, the moment that he was betrayed, then those stages in between, and then have him up on the cross. What an awful thing. And then now, to make it even more interesting, having to say goodbye right and then to your dear loving son. He sees John next to Mary and asks him, brother, take care of my mom, even in a way that I never was able to care for her. Wow. And then look at Mary in the midst of the agony and says, goodbye, Mom. Goodbye. Time for me to go. As hard as in my son, Jesus he established in that moment right there when he says those words, a principle to say that there are times when we will have to say goodbye for the sake of the gospel. It's established that way. I made it that way. When we want to follow him, he wants us to first realize that it is not going to be an easy thing to do. It's not going to be easy. In fact, he doesn't want us to make idols of our own families. And he wants us to be willing to make him our priority. Now don't misunderstand me. I am not saying to be irresponsible with your families, but for the sake of the gospel, you will have to say goodbye many times. Here's another hard one. Love your God with all of your heart. Love God over all things. That's all that Jesus is doing. Loving God and trusting in God and trusting in Him. And He is trusting that He's leaving His mom behind in good hands. His beloved disciple will take care of mom. He trusts John. He trusts him so much that he's going to raise his mom in good care. You trust God and your family will be fine. It will be fine. You know what I did with my family? I love my mom a lot and I like to be around my mom. But when God called me to the ministry, when God called me to serve Him, Mom was one of those people that she likes to have parties going on. She likes to have a good time. And she likes to have the family around. And every Sunday, she will just have a carne asada, a barbecue time. And she will call everyone. Hey, come, my brother with his family. Hey, come, my my other brother with his family. Hey, come, her brother with her family, with their families. Just like that in her life before she came to the Lord. And you know, God ministered to my life and said, hey, you know what? You need to teach your family that God is first. And so I have to educate my family to help them understand that God is number one priority in my life. And I'm not being legalistic about this, and I'm not saying, hey, you know, I will never see you again on a Sunday. There will be some Sundays where, there were some Sundays when I did not have a responsibility of a church. There were some Sundays where I would just miss. Because I needed to be there with my family. And once they started making this a every Sunday kind of thing, it was kind of difficult. And I had to say goodbye to my mom. I said, Mom, you know what? Goodbye. No more Sundays. Parties, if you want me to be in your parties on Sundays, you have to do it after church, or you have to do it on a Saturday. Because God is my priority. You know, I come across Christians nowadays that unfortunately, you know, I had a conversation not too long ago with one that said, you know what, Pastor, I'm going to go to church on Sunday, but if my sister is calling me because she wants to go to Chili's with me, I'm sorry, Pastor, I can't make it, I'm going to have to go with my sister. Well, you know what, the day Jesus returns, He's going to ask you, hey, you want to go to heaven with me? Because it's the last day you're going to breathe today. Oh, I'm sorry, God, I can't because my sister just called me, I'm going to go to Chili's with her. Is that what you're going to answer to God? God says, love God over all things. And, you know, Jesus went through that. He had to prove His priorities straight. And He had to say, you know what? Goodbye to all this because I want to follow God first. Everything else can wait. There's time for everything. Isn't that what the Bible says? Right? There's time to go play at the park, right? There's time to go to the movies, right? I went to the movies yesterday. There's time to go to a barbecue, right? There's time to mourn, right? There's time to cry, right? And there's time for God. Right? There's time for God. We often have to go to that and say goodbye. I'm not saying being responsible to your children, being responsible to your parents. There's time for that too. There's time to say goodbye. There's time when you come like Jesus did when He had to go. He had to go and He had to say goodbye. And then the next word, and I'll be finishing with this, the next words that Jesus said here, my God, why have you forsaken me? Martin Luther says, the most unhurtful cry of loneliness in history came not from a prisoner or a patient. It came from the hill, from a cross, from our Messiah. That's where it came from. You know, God said those horrible words. My God, He screamed. Why do you abandon me? Remember when you felt disconnected from God? You felt lonely at some point in your life? When you lost your child, your spouse, your loved one, or you just felt like He wasn't not there for you anymore? And that makes you feel very lonely? Never have those words carry so much pain, so much hurt. But the reason for that pain is because of this. Isaiah put it this way, chapter 59, verse 4 and 5 says, surely He took our pain and bore our suffering, yet we consider Him punished by God, stricken by Him, and afflicted. But He transgression. He was crushed for our iniquity. The punishment that brought us peace was on him. And by his wounds we were healed. All that he took upon himself. On that cross, he felt the loneliness that came out of that separation that exists between man and God because of our sin. Discrimination. You know, it says that because he took upon him all of our sins. When living in sinful life, you will feel separated from God. And loneliness becomes a gulf of sin. It's not letting you, that gulf is not letting you feel a good relationship with God because the sin is there. And you feel that emptiness, you feel that loneliness. That's how it works. You live a sinful life, you are unhappy. You don't know where you're going, you don't know where to start. You don't know where to end. And it doesn't matter how you pretend to be happy, you're not. And whatever else you want to try to make to fulfill that or to fill that emptiness, it's just not going to happen. Sin is there, that's going to make you feel separated from God. That's going to make you feel lonely. And then you will cry out, and you will also cry out. You know, I have experience in my Christian walk that a lot of the people that come with all kinds of confusion, all kinds of situations in their life, and all kinds of emptiness in their life, it's because of their sin. And they're crying out loud. And who do they blame? God. Blame God. Why they don't feel the blessings of God? Why they don't feel connection with God? Because they're separated. What is separating them? The God. What is their God? Sin. Therefore, so you're lonely. So you feel disconnected. That's how you feel abandoned by God. That's what Jesus experienced for us in our behalf. He is taking on him every lie ever told, every object ever covered, every promise ever broken. He became sin to us. So Jesus this time is more than taking away our sin. It goes beyond that. You know, to Jesus, the three that have been one are now two. Disconnected. You know, Jesus, who have been with God for eternity, is not alone. He feels lonely because of our sins. Separated. You know, the Christ who was an expression of God is abundant. Abundant. The Trinity is dismantled. Godhead is junction. Unity is solved. You know, he withstood a beating and remained strong at the mark of that trial. Jesus is more than just being hung on that cross, forgiving our sins. You know, he watched in silence as those he loved run away. Because in the heat of the moment, that's what happens. You run away. He did not retaliate when he was insulted or hurt, nor did he scream when the nails were piercing his hands. But when God turned his head, that was more than he could handle. Anything can happen. Anything can go. I'm also willing to even say goodbye. But when I feel that God has left and it's not there anymore, I can't handle that. You can't handle that. My God, he screamed out of the dry mouth and broken lips. You know, the holy heart of it is broken. Out of the silent sky come the words screamed by all who walked in the desert of loneliness. Why? Why did you abandon me? One wonders why would Jesus do that? I know. I know what he said goodbye. Because it would have been easy for him to stay. It would have been easy for him to just stay on his own hand. I know why he screamed and felt lonely and disconnected from God. To gratify the law, to fulfill the prophecy, to pay for your sins and mine. Praise the Lord for that. To bring you to salvation. No wonder they call him the Savior. If he was able and willing to do that, what can we do? See, this the one missionary I'm telling you about, who was a millionaire, one of the greatest athletes in his time for cricket sport in England, sold all his fortune and said goodbye to that. Was willing to say goodbye to his wife and children for the sake of the gospel. Was willing to give up everything. Wrote a code and said, if Jesus Christ be God and died for me, then there is no greater sacrifice that I can do for him. The least we can do is be faithful to God and come to church. The least we can do is be grateful to God and financially support the ministry. The least we can do is to follow God and be faithful to him. Because his sacrifice was too great. Too great. We went into that moment. We all are going to say goodbye. We're all going to be alone. We're all going to go to that. How do you respond to that? Like Jesus did. We're not eternal in this life. Be ready, prepare yourself like Jesus did. There's two goodbyes that you're going to encounter. There's the present goodbye, where you're going to have to learn to say to everything that comes your way and will want to hold you back from coming to church. You have to rearrange your priorities and be able to say to those that pull you out from the church, hey, you're going to have to wait. Because God is first. I love God over all. I'll see you later. We can go some other day. But you're just going to have to do it later. Or when God calls you to the ministry and you have a responsibility with God, you have something to do, and your children are pulling you, you're going to have to learn to say to your children, I'm sorry, I can't do it today. I got this to do with church. I say that to my wife all the time. The moment my wife and I made a commitment to each other, we said we will commit to each other, we will serve God together, that there will be times when we're going to have to separate and go our ways to do the things of God. When we signed out as missionaries, they had us sign a document that said that one of us would be in danger, will die. We can sue our mission because of that. Or maybe one of us will be kidnapped. They're not going to pay a ransom for us. And we will be separated for who knows. My wife and I signed to each other a commitment that said we will serve God, and there will be times when you're going to have to just stay with the kids because I got to go pray someone. I got to go do something at church. And the same is for her. And my children know that already. Out of obedience, the Lord will give you blessings. And there will be a time for the second goodbye, which which will be the goodbye where I am going to have to say goodbye to my loved ones for good. But that's just so that I can see them tomorrow. Amen? Praise the Lord for that. Amen? That is just so that I can see them tomorrow. And that eternity is like, we're carrying on, moving on.